Look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I don't even know what to call this video because I was about to say it's baking with Miles. But again, these are some no-bake bars I'm presenting you with. I know last time we made peanut butter crunch bars and you guys all love them. So I thought, do you know what? Let's push the boundaries. Let's take it to a different level. Yeah, so the recipe today is carrot cake, coconut, almond butter bars. Do I need to even say anything else? This recipe can serve as so many different purposes. It's the perfect healthy breakfast on the go. It's also a great pre and post-workout snack. So yeah, if you're a student and you don't have an oven, or you're just very lazy and you don't like to cook or bake, or when you do bake, if you usually burn things, then this is the perfect recipe for you. And I know previously, whenever I've done like baking with Miles, I always kind of just pretend that I know what I'm doing. But in reality, I've just completely made up the recipe and I'm just going with the flow and winging it. And then at the end, I tell you that I had no idea what I was doing, but somehow it worked. But I can reassure you that today's recipe is tried and tested. I have perfected this recipe for you guys, so hope you appreciate. All you need to know is that start to finish, this recipe literally takes 5 minutes. And then once you've made them, you've got a big batch of healthy, sweet, indulgent, nourishing bars to fuel you throughout your week and stuff. And if you thought I was going to say that these are healthy bars because they're low in fat, no! Thanks for coming. Off you go. I'm just going to talk about this now because it did come up in the last video, because I did say that these are healthy snacks for kids. I don't know what it's like in the States, but here still in the UK, like nuts are banned in school. You can't give kids nuts in their lunchbox, which, okay, fair enough. There are a lot of kids with nut allergies, but I feel like if anything should be banned in school, it should be dairy first and foremost, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot more kids that are allergic to dairy than nuts. And I also know for a fact that in Aslan school, there is just dairy flying around like here, there, and everywhere.
Now just throw your hands in the motherfucking air and wave the motherfuckers like you just don't care. Yeah.
But yeah, just for anyone that wants to make these for kids, for lunch boxes, so that it is nut free. Any nut butter I use, you can switch for seed butter. And also the nuts that I use, you can switch. There's a plane. If you're making this for kids, for the sake of lunch boxes, just switch it up for seed butter. And also any nuts that I use, you can switch for any seeds that you like. First, starting off with some oats. Always choose whole rolled oats if you can. Especially for this recipe, you just want the chewy texture. So I've got a couple of cups of oats. I've got a cup of shredded carrot. If you really wanted to, you could use raw shredded parsnip instead. That does work too. Here I've got a cup of desiccated coconut, which gives this just a lovely sweet, creamy flavor. When you're buying this, make sure you buy the plain one, not the one that's full of sugar. Just get the plain one, if you know what I'm saying. Quarter of a cup of pecan nuts, as you guys say in the States. Again, this is just my choice because I think that pecan nuts go really well with carrot cake. So you can switch those for walnuts or almonds. Here, just to get those healthy omega-3s in, we've got a third of a cup of flax. Got some maple syrup, just gonna use a little bit of this to sweeten. You do get a lot of natural sweetness from the coconut and the carrot, but yeah. A little pinch of cinnamon, a little bit of cinnamon always goes a long way. And of course, the best part, I've got some smooth, creamy almond butter. This is just plain almond butter. You can use crunchy if you want. And again, if you're making this for a kid's lunchbox, you can of course just switch this for pumpkin or sunflower seed butter or, you know, something else. Yeah, I'm just using the plain smooth almond butter from My Protein, which is a pretty good one. And you know I'm a harsh critic when it comes to nut butters. So if you want to try this one, I'll leave the link down below. Oh, and also, how can I forget? Almost forgot. I have got some sultanas. Yeah, apparently these are authentic Persian sultanas given to me by my Persian father, who is very fussy about what kind of sultanas he eats, apparently. Yeah, but these have a really kind of unique sweetness. So if you can find these in your local Arabic shop or something, go ahead. If not, you can just use raisins. Okay, let's start with the oats. Coconut. I love myself some coconut. Flax. Pecan nuts. Carrot. Some of those good Persian sultanas. My dad could be lying. These probably are just regular sultanas, but he just likes to say that everything is Persian. Sprinkle of cinnamon, just under half a cup of good earthy maple syrup. Don't use agave. I've told you what I think about agave syrup, not healthy. And the best part You need a good cup and a half of almond butter. Look at that. All right, hurry up. Get to lick both of those now. Best part. Now I'm only adding this because it does help them set better once they've like firmed up in the fridge or the freezer, but this is totally optional. So I'm just gonna put literally just 1 tablespoon. Again, that's totally optional. If you don't use that, just bump up the nut or seed butter. And we mix. If you want it to be really daring, you could just get all up in there with your hands. The smell of that cinnamon. All right, that's the texture we're after, guys. Just sludgy. All right, so I've lined my baking tray. These are gonna be so good. To try and squidge it down into all of the corners and try and make it nice and even as well. That has fit absolutely perfectly, apart from that corner. You can fix that. Done. Just wanna get another piece of baking parchment. Try and compact them as much as you can. Anyways, into the freezer for 30 minutes and I'll be back with the final result.
Whilst the bars were setting, Miles could not sit still and decided to dance around the kitchen like an absolute fool. I seriously cannot with this boy anymore. What the actual fuck? Someone please section this boy. I am going to unsubscribe. Healthy crazy cool. More like healthy crazy fool.
Alright, we have liftoff. Oh, look at that. As you can see, these have firmed up pretty nicely. You want them hard, you do, trust me. These are kind of like, the texture we're going for is kind of like one of those raw gourmet desserts. Fudgy, thick, almost like a cross between a brownie, a flapjack, and a big slab of chocolate. But it's carrot cake. Like I said, guys, these are very dense, as in very dense in nutrients, but also very dense in calorie because it's, you know, there's a lot of nuts and nut butter and healthy seeds in there, and the sultanas, raisins, whatever. So if you're having them for snacking purposes, just chop them into small squares. If it's kind of a meal in itself for breakfast, then I would go for bigger slabs. Oh, that texture's perfecto. Look at that. There's crunchy pecan nuts in there, the carrots, the raisins, the flax. Actually, you can't see the flax, but you know they're in there. All right, taste test time. I'm not gonna lie, incredible. Tastes exactly like carrot cake, only in healthy and lazy form. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The only thing I will say is that these are very dense. So yeah, like have a big one if it's like a breakfast on the go, but if it's just a snack, you could chop them into like literally 20, 30 little squares for something nice and sweet to have with your tea or your coffee or your marrow. Yeah, all I know right now is that Jamie Oliver is somewhere quaking in his boots. He's literally just like, he's buried himself, trust me, because yeah. Anyways, baking, making, mixing with Miles was another epic success. Let me know what you want me to make next time, and definitely make these. Let me know what you think, and I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Satisfy my appetite with something spectacular. Check your vernacular, and then I get back to ya with diamond like